Hello, 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 everybody. I hope that you are in the peace, in the power, and in the grace of my Yeshua. I wanted to share a word that came up today as we were speaking about Yahweh today, as we were pondering the word today on Shabbat. Amen. So I want to share this with you. And I pray that it ministers to you the same way it ministered to my family. So it says, as you enter the house of Yahweh, keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Don't be a fool who doesn't realize that mindless offerings to Yahweh are evil. And don't make rash promises to Yahweh, for he is in heaven and you are only here on earth. So let your words be few. Just as being too busy gives you nightmares, being a fool makes you a blabbermouth. So when you make a promise to Yahweh, don't delay in following through, for Yah takes no pleasure in fools. Keep all the promises you make to him. It is better to say nothing than to promise something that you don't follow through on. In such cases, your mouth is making you sin, and don't defend yourself by telling the temple messenger that the promise you made was a mistake. That would make Yahweh angry, and he might wipe out everything you have achieved. Dreaming all the time instead of working on foolishness, and there is ruin in a flood of empty words. Fear Yahweh instead. So today it came up in our word today how Ecclesiastes chapter 5, and it talks about fearing Yahweh. Okay, when you have the fear of Yahweh, you do things in a very specific way, and you are careful not to use your words in a way and not to make agreements and promises that you cannot keep. This has been something that I've had to learn the hard way, because sometimes we say things and we promise things and we make agreements with people without consulting Yahweh first, without understanding the consequences of making such agreements and making such promises, right? And here Yah is saying, fear him above anything. Don't allow your mouth to make promises, to make agreements, to do things that you know you don't have the capability of doing, that you know you're not willing to do. Just don't. Because once Yah begin to examine your heart, once Yah begin to examine what you have said and what you say you're going to do and you don't do it, he says it is like foolishness to him. And what he'll do is he'll remove everything from you and make you start all over again. Because sometimes we say things that we shouldn't say. But if you fear Yahweh above anything, if you fear what he can do to you, then you are very careful with your words. Okay? And believe me, I am not, none of us are perfect, and we fail at this consistently. Okay? But I believe that Yahweh is bringing it to our attention, because a lot of times we say things and Yah is listening. When you say, I belong to Yahweh, when you say, I serve Yahweh, Yahweh is listening to your word, and he's listening to what you say you're going to do. And if you don't follow through, then to him it's like foolishness. Okay? And then it says, if you see a poor person being oppressed, by the powerful, and justice being miscarried throughout the land. Don't be surprised, for every official is under orders from higher up, and matters of justice only get lost in red tape and bureaucracy. Even the king milks the land for his own profit. Interesting. Those who love money will never have enough. How absurd to think that wealth brings true happiness. The more you have, the more people come to help you spend it. So, what is the advantage of wealth? Except perhaps to watch it run through your fingers. So here, it's kind of interesting because we actually got into a discussion about this. I ended up breaking this apart to explain some things, to my children. Here it says, when you see the poor being oppressed by powerful people and injustice being done, okay, and things being put under the rug per se, right? Yah is saying, don't be surprised by that. Okay, do not be surprised by that. Everyone is answering to someone, and everyone has to give account, right? And no one is above Yahweh. So here, Yah is saying, don't be surprised when you see officials and people in high level of authority on the land, okay, be unjust and get caught up in the bureaucracy, in the politics of justice, in the political arena between people at different levels of authority, okay? And Yah is saying, don't even trip. I'm seeing everything. I am watching, right? And all those people along that chain of command that are dealing unjustly with the poor and with the people that they believe are less than them, Yah is saying, I'm ultimately the one they have to answer to. Okay? And then it goes into people that seek money, people that just want more money. They do whatever and they break whoever and they walk over whoever to get more money. Okay? Here, Yah is saying they'll never be happy. They'll continue to chase the next dollar. They'll continue to want more. But it doesn't matter because it all slips through their fingers. They'll never have enough. They'll never work hard enough. They'll never gain enough to satisfy their hunger for money. They'll continue to run themselves to the ground to gain whatever it is that they want to gain, but they will never be satisfied. And it will never bring them true happiness, true peace. Okay? And then it says, people who work hard sleep well, whether they eat a little or much. But the rich are always worrying and seldom get a good night's sleep. So all these people that have all this money and all these businesses and they want to live this elaborate lifestyles, they don't get no sleep. They're not at peace. They're continuously chasing something that can never satisfy them. It'll never be enough. So they can't have a good night's sleep because they're always thinking and strategizing on what they're going to do next to make more money and to gain more. Which is honestly, and I will say this, it is a very sad way of living. When I look at, and now some people might say, well, you're saying that because you're not rich. Well, I consider myself very well cared for. I don't want to be rich, but I don't want to be poor. I want to just maintain and take care of my family, and that is more than enough for me. But that's not enough for some people, okay? And these people can't have a good night's sleep because they're always thinking about what to do next to get more money, okay? And then it goes on and says in verse 13, there is another serious problem I have seen in the world. Riches are something hoarded to the harm of the saver, or they are put into risky investments that turn sour and everything is lost. Okay? How many people have you heard that invested money or saved their money into whatever investment and they lost everything? This is why. Okay? And then it goes on and says, in the end, there is nothing left to pass on to one's children. People who live only for wealth come to the end of their lives as naked and empty-handed as on the day they were born. So these people continue to chase, they continue to make money, they want the next dollar, they want all this money. They just sit there and accumulate all these things, and at the end of it, they will have nothing. It comes to nothing. Okay? Because at the end of your life, the same way you came into this world is the same way you're going to go out naked. You can't take anything with you. It's left for someone else. And this too is a very serious problem. As people come into the world, so they depart. All their hard work is for nothing. They have been working for the wind, and everything will be swept away. Throughout their lives, they live under a cloud, frustrated, discouraged, and angry. Why are they frustrated, discouraged, and angry? Because they're trying to gain something they can't get. So they continue to chase and continue to chase. They continue to plan. They continue to strategize. They don't have a good night's sleep. They have no rest because they're always chasing something and they're never satisfied. So at the end of all of that, they become frustrated, discouraged, angry because they don't understand. You keep chasing something that is not real. You keep, instead of being grateful and thankful for what Yah has put in your hands, and use that. Use whatever you have been given in your hands to enjoy with your family, to create memories, to love the people in your life the way you're supposed to love them with what has been given to you. Instead of doing that, you continue to chase something that is not tangible. And being satisfied with what Yah has given you. Okay? Being grateful. Even so, I have noticed one thing at least that is good. It is good for people to eat well, drink a good glass of wine, and enjoy their work. Whatever they do under the sun for however long Yah lets them live. And it is a good thing to receive wealth from Yahweh and good health to enjoy it, to enjoy your work and accept your lot in life. That is indeed a gift of Yahweh. People who do this rarely look with sorrow on the past, for Yah has given them reasons to joy. So when you focus on what Yah is put in your hands, when you focus on enjoying what He has given you, when you focus on loving the people in your life and simply, honestly do your job, whatever job that is, whatever you chose to do, use those resources that has been given to you to bless the people in your life and to create memories. Because at the end of it all, at the end of this life, the only thing that you can take with you is how you took care of those people, is how you loved those people, is Yahweh giving you something, blessing that thing, giving you the health that you need, to enjoy whatever has been given to you. Because you can have wealth and be sick. And what's money? What's the purpose of having money if you cannot be cured of whatever health problems you have? Because you're so stressed. Because you're always searching after something. You're always running after something. You never have stability to love your family. You're always chasing something new. Always strategizing on the next project, on the next thing. So today, pour wisdom into my family. And I hope that you take that wisdom and that you understand. 3 things were mentioned here. Having the fear of Yahweh above anything else. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't make agreements that you're not going to come through with. Do not, be very careful with how you make promises and agreements with people if you're not going to follow suit with it. Okay? And in order to do that and to watch yourself from that, you have to have the fear of Yahweh. Fear him above it all. Fear him above it all. Do not get caught up on the riches and having more and more and never being satisfied. We as children of the Most High have to watch that. Wanting to gain more, wanting to chase more money, more this, more that. We have to watch that, because that is a temptation that allows the enemy to bring before you. Wanting more. You cannot serve 2 masters. Either you love the one and hate the other, or you hate the one and follow the other. You can't have 2 masters. So you have to figure out which one is your master. If money is your master, then by all means go ahead and enjoy, go chase every dollar that you believe you should get. But at the end of your life, you will find yourself alone and with nothing. And that is a sad place to be. It's interesting. I have ran into so many people here in the United States. So many older people that they end up alone. Their children don't want to have anything to do with them. So many families completely dismantled. Like the connection is just not there. And the reason why the connection is not there is because somebody in the family thought that chasing money and showering people with gifts is more than enough to keep them connected. Not realizing that there comes a point in people's life that they desire your presence. They desire to sit at a table and have a meal with you. They desire just hanging out with you, speaking to you, helping you with something or sharing something, right? There are people that you can shower them with whatever gifts. You can give them the whole world. But if you're absent, those things don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. They desire your relationship, your time, your devotion, having a conversation, about whatever. They desire that more than whatever financial, money, gifts that you can give. Because at the end of the day, And I always use this example with my children. If I die today, what are the thoughts that are gonna come to your mind about me? It's certainly gonna be, oh, my mom, she left me a house or she left me a car. No. What they're gonna say is, my mom did everything that she could to take care of us, to love us, to make sure we were fed, to make sure that we have whatever we needed. Those are the memories. She sat with us. She did homework with us. She, listened to what we had to say. She showed up. She was present. She was there. When we were sick, she took care of us. That is what they're going to remember. Not the gift. Not that, I was absent. I was never here. But I just showered them with stuff. That at the end, it comes to a point, and you can do that with younger children. You can fool younger children in those things, but it comes to a point that doesn't mean anything. A gift in the absence of someone doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. So today we talked about the fear of Yah. Don't make promises and don't make agreements that you're not willing to keep, because Yah is going to hold you accountable for that. Number 2, when you see poor people being oppressed and justice not being fulfilled the right way over those people that don't have enough money, or people that are not sitting in authority level positions to defend the poor and actually do justice the right way. Don't be surprised when they get caught up in the red tape and the bureaucracy of it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of that is all about politics. So Yah today is saying, continue to pray and continue to seek Yah for justice. Because at the end of the day, all those people have to answer to Him too. And they will, at one point or another. We all have to answer to the man sitting on the throne. Watch yourself with loving money and chasing money, because it will never satisfy you. You will always want more. And at the end of chasing after money, you'll be empty-handed. It's not worth losing everything. End up frustrated, discouraged, and angry, because money will never satisfy you. And at the end of it all, learn a task, do that task, ask Yahweh to bless the work of your hands so that you can enjoy it, and ask Him to give you health, because having money without health doesn't mean anything. If you can have money but cannot receive healing for whatever disease you're dealing with, money doesn't mean anything. And I think some of us need a reality check about those things. At the end of the day, understand that Yah does not give you wealth for you to hoard it, or for you to make yourself seem above everybody else. No, Yah gives you wealth so that you can enjoy it with the people that you love, and that you would use it to honor Him above everything else. So today, I pray that this message ministers to you and that it brings some clarity to you. And I hope that you continue to pray and intercede for the poor, for those that are being oppressed, for those that are being swept under the rug, injustice is never done for them. So today, have a blessed day, have a peaceful day, and Shabbat Shalom. Talk to you later. Bye.